Thank you, America. So, like a 6-pound frozen block of in-flight bathroom waste, James Comey's book dropped from the sky. And when it did, the media couldn't contain their excitement.
The James Comey book accidentally came out early. Oops. Well, good evening, Lawrence.
Good evening, Rachel. I'm just reading the end because I want to see how the investigation turns out. So I'm just gonna.
Breaking news, they can read. I kid. Now, no one sent me a book. Everyone else got one, and it made them feel so funny inside.
Comey went further than you were even expecting, even more so than what he talked about in the book.
He is just not holding back on President Trump in any way, shape, or form.
And he talks about how it was an out-of-body experience for him to sit with the president. It must have been an out-of-body experience for you to sit with him.
I tell you, thank you for saying that.
Kids, this ain't the Bible. It's a freaking book of gossip by a bitter ex. Here's one revelation, though. Comey says Trump reminds him of something.
Ahem. I thought of New York mafia social clubs. The Italian mafia called itself La Casa Nostra, this thing of ours, and always drew a line between someone who was a friend of yours, meaning someone outside the family, and someone who was a friend of ours, meaning an official member of the family. The president-elect was trying to make us all part of the same family, and that Team Trump had made it a thing of ours.
So I'm pretty sure that Thursday night, Rachel read the entire book to her audience. It was like a bedtime story for Communist Party cat ladies. But Trump's like a mafia boss? File that under duh. Anyone who saw the debates knows that. Every day he put out a hit on a rival. The fact is, he's a billionaire real estate developer in New York City. You think he never had to deal with actual mafia bosses? Why do you think he's the way he is now? Sorry, when America hears Comey whine that Trump is like a mafia boss, they go, no Sherlock. That's why we like him. Think about it. Who would you rather have dealing with the likes of North Korea or Putin? A guy who reminds you of this, or someone who reminds you of a grad school TA who reads poetry to his cat? Now, if I don't know that he does that. Okay. If I were Trump, when asked about being called a mob boss, I'd say I'm deeply flattered. Then I would hand out red hats that say mafia instead of MAGA. We had that made, by the way, $25 if you want it. Bottom line, this all comes down to one fact. There's a certain kind of person designed to be president from the get-go. They look like this, or this, or this. Trump's not them. He's Trump, someone unaccustomed to the purity test all politicians can fake, which is why the public doesn't care. They know what he is. He may be a mafia boss, but he's our mafia boss. So, they're applauding for the mafia. They are applauding for the mafia. So while the media spews crap, how does America feel about it? All of this is about behavior prior to an election designed to unseat a president based on a vast emotional injury that occurred on November 8th, 2016. What unites anti-Trumpers is PTSD. President Trump, stress disorder. The media says Trump is using foreign policy to distract from scandal, but it's actually the opposite. These scandals are designed to keep him from doing his job. That's how America sees it. That's how I see it. And I am America. Yes, I am. I'm kind of shaped like America. And America just wants him to keep doing his job because so far it ain't bad. ISIS, North Korea, China, taxes. Stop him now. What a story that would be. First, an outsider is elected to disrupt the system. Second, he actually disrupts the system. Third, the media and their Democratic enablers flip out. Four, they use everything in their power to remove him. Now, if they succeed, they will have removed one of the most radical political figures in recent memory using behavior that occurred prior to the election. Anti-Trumpers, have you thought this through? If you're not careful, you're going to turn Trump into a massive folk hero And 70 million people will be at your doorstep, and it won't be to sing You've Got a Friend. Let's welcome tonight's guests. Like my favorite butcher, Steve, she cuts through the bologna. Almost said something else. Author and TV host, Jedediah Bila. Like a well-oiled shopping cart, he'll have you rolling in the aisles. Actor, writer, comedian Jamie Lissow. Yes, she's got more baggage than a Samsonite salesman. National Review reporter Kat Timpf. And he hates ceiling fans.
That's true.
Impact wrestler and my massive sidekick, Tyrus. Jedediah, a lot happened this week. Comey. What do you make of this?
I mean, the book sounds terrible. I didn't get a copy either. I can't imagine why. But every excerpt I read made him less and less likable as a person. And this guy, I mean, he stoops to the lowest levels. He's like talking about Trump's tie.
Yeah.
He's talking about Trump's under-eye circles. Like, is he in a tanning bed? Is he not? And it's just like any shred of credibility that this guy had, which I don't know how he could have any after not indicting Hillary Clinton, frankly. But any shred that remains has been lost just from the excerpts that I've read. And it's just, you know, I think there are some people in this world that just want to be in front and center in front of the camera all the time, and we work in the television business. We're trained to spot them. This guy is one of them. Any opportunity, like someone hand him a show just because he's begging for it, because that's what he wants. That would be, wow.
What, Tyrus?
You better not.
What?
You better not. I warned you about the Hillary on Sunday. If Comey gets one, I'm done.
Okay, here's my Sunday lineup. My Sunday lineup, you got Hillary at 8 o'clock, because that provides fodder for Fox and Friends the next day, followed by Comey, and it's like Comey, it's called the Comey Confessional. And he just tells you what he thinks. Sorry, Tyrus. All right, Jamie.
Greg, instead of the Comey Confessional, what about the Fredo files?
Oh!
Thank you, because of the thing before.
Yes, a Godfather allusion, I believe it was. What do you make of Trump's response to Comey?
I honestly thought maybe he even overreacted. Like, why even respond to so much?
Thank you. Thank you.
It is. You're welcome. It is a tell-all book. Rarely do people release a tell-some book. It's all of it. And I thought the whole thing about, I thought Trump should have almost just let it roll off his shoulders, especially the thing about, you know, the story that was in there about the Russia and the prostitutes and the peeing. I thought Trump should have at least made an excuse and just said, it's not what everyone thinks. It's just, I just don't speak fluent Russian. They completely misunderstand me. You know, I walked in, I was like, what are you guys doing? I said, there's a leak in the sink.
That would have worked.
Right? I said to get 3 hot plumbers, not 3 hot prostitutes. It's one idea.
That is very good. Kat, what do you make of this, of the Comey book?
There is nothing wrong with reading poetry to your cat, Greg. First of all.
That's what you got from this?
That's what I just got from your monologue. You seems like you're insulting one of my favorite pastimes.
That was actually put in there, directed to insult you.
I thought so.
Yes.
But no, I agree with Jedediah. He made comments about the tiny hands.
Yes.
Are we done with the tiny hands yet? Yes. That's like the biggest hack joke in the world.
Yes.
I'm surprised like the next sentence wasn't, why didn't the chicken cross the road? That's how hack that it was. It's like, you're not Regina George. You are a former FBI director. You can act like a grown-up.
Yes.
And he wants to be Regina George.
He wants to be Regina George.
Who's Regina George?
Mean Girls.
Oh, why didn't I know that?
I'm so glad you asked, Craig. I was nodding, just pretending I knew who it was.
I thought it was like,
because I was afraid the camera was on me too.
I thought it was a historical political figure.
It is.
Yes, it is. It is. I'm so embarrassed. Tyrus, what do you make of the whole thing? What's wrong with having a mafia boss as a president?
Well, as long as your name isn't Fredo, not too bad. The whole thing, here's the thing. Obviously, from the day they met, Trump and Comey did not like each other.
Yeah.
It was not a match made in heaven, and he felt he was fired by someone who was inferior to him, so that's where the anger comes from. But I'm willing to suggest, if we actually got our hands on the book that wasn't cut and pasted, by the liberal media, that it might be a better read. I think they're doing a disservice. I haven't seen the book, but they're taking pieces out and forming it for their own thing. I think they're making him. They're doing a horrible disservice to Comey.
Yeah.
Because you haven't read the book. I haven't read. I'm not saying he's obviously bitter. Listen, if I got fired by, say, a guy smaller than me that I could beat up or whatever, I might, when my book comes out, say some terrible things about like his animal choices that aren't real, or his, that he footstools around the office that I trip over all the time. I might have some issues with some things, which I get. I understand that. We've all been fired, and no, I've never said after I got fired, well, that was a really wonderful place, and I was really glad to be there.
Yeah.
Sorry they fired me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is more the media, like, oh, let's take this one thing and let's say this and let's say this. I'll wait till I'll actually read the book and I'll.
I would totally buy that, except that when you watch him in the interviews, he's insufferable.
Yes, he is.
It's like a pity party for Comey.
Everything is like confliction. It's, oh my God, I didn't know what to do when he started talking about his wife. It's like, shut up, you're an adult.
No, he obviously hates Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And that's the question that Papadopoulos should have asked him. Do you hate Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Tell the truth. He got under your skin, and you couldn't believe that what he thought, being an elitist, this guy could fire me, and that's really what it's all about.
I don't hate anyone. Some sort of
Which means
I just want to be a good person.
I just want to do the right thing.
We got to move on because we have so much good stuff in this show. It'll make your head explode. Not that I want to see that, because that would be gory and disgusting.